Hey kids, Dad here. It is Monday, August 17, 2026, about 10:45 in the morning. And I just got a big smile on my face. I want to tell you kids why this morning. So as you kids know, I've been doing this, I call them support group things. Talk to me offline someday, I'll tell you what they really are. But it's a fellowship of some pretty amazing people. And the interesting thing about it is, we do it because we were seeking sobriety. We were seeking to essentially stop using drugs and alcohol to try and solve our problems. And what we found is that God, for us, works a lot better at solving our problems. And it's been an amazing, amazing experience this past almost 2 years now. And absolutely has made me a different person. But what I didn't realize and what I didn't intend for when I first joined those support groups is I showed up to the first one thinking, I've got this hole in my heart where my kids used to be, and I've been filling it with alcohol, and I can't stop. And God does a better job filling that hole in my heart. But along the way then, what's come to pass that's been just amazing is, and I'll use the word fellowship that comes with that. The people you meet, people from all over the country, all over the world. And I've done some videos, some gratitude videos. I think I did them, I don't know, earlier this spring maybe, about some individuals who played a very big role in my life in kind of the sobriety journey. And there's someone today who's just a good example of that. You go to these support group meetings, and for me, kind of the place I'm at now, I can tell you kids that my sobriety is pretty strong because it's based on God. And my God's too big, too powerful for anybody to shake that. So when I go to these support group meetings, I'm not necessarily doing it because, oh my gosh, if I don't, my life's going to fall apart. But I go to them because I get to potentially help other people. I can talk to the person who's just starting off and say, hey man, how you doing? What are you struggling with? Well, here's what worked for me. Here's what didn't work for me. Let me know how I can help. And probably in a way that helps keep me on the right path, just by investing the time and energy to help others, right? So along the way of doing that, you meet people. And some of them are kind of there for the same reason. And we all have good days, and typically most days are good days, and we all have a bad day sometimes. And when one of us has a bad day, we pick each other up, right? And it's a support group. So there's this little mouse of a gal. She's over in the Netherlands. Okay, I've looked that one up on a map. It's in Western Europe. And she's very soft-spoken, very just this little sweetheart girl. She's in her late 20s. And for whatever reason, I think the first time I met her, I thought her accent was so interesting, because I love how people from the Netherlands, they don't pronounce T's. They say them like a D. So instead of saying the other day, they say the udder day. Instead of saying, what's another word with a T? Instead of saying the other day, they'll say the udder day. That's the best example I have. So anyhow, I've gotten to know this gal, and her name's Paula. Very soft-spoken, just a little good-hearted human being. And the neat things in the rooms of these support groups, especially virtually, digitally nowadays, is I can hear from the middle of nowhere, Bravo Zulu House, jump on my computer and see these people on my screen and talk to them and get to know them. And then you talk to them offline. You'll talk to them through chats and things like that, through your phone. Maybe have phone calls here and there. And as you get to know them, we're all kind of on this same road, this same path. And it's really, ultimately, it's one of self-improvement. And it's one of getting closer to God and getting aligned with what God's will is, what God wants for us. And this Paula gal, she's been gosh, I've known her for maybe, I don't know, more than 6 months, less than a year. But it's funny. So she's somebody who I would have typically never crossed paths with her. She's 20 years younger. She's, she works with bats. She's like a bat scientist of all things. But she's a really good student, really sharp student, and a really hungry learner. So I think we kind of connected on an intellectual level like that. And then just as you get to know somebody, you find out what a sweetheart they are, and you end up you're a big cheerleader for them. So today, I go out and get the mail like every day, and there's the typical stuff: some junk mail, all the different residence mail, and I just divide it up on the countertop, make the little stacks of different guys. And oh my gosh, there's something pink and glittery, and it's to me. And Dad loves sparkles and glitter, right? I open it up, and here's what was inside of it, kids. The Little Book of Serenity. And I open it up to Ryan from Panda. Panda is her nickname. The Little Book of Serenity is a collection of practices, techniques, and insightful thoughts that will equip you with the ideas you need to tackle life's everyday stresses. From an ABC of Serenity and why it is useful for everyone to nourish actions you can implement in your daily routine, a certified positive psychology practitioner guides you through the steps to bring more calm and peace in your life. Boy, is this timely. Because I've been working on protecting my serenity. So I've been reading the Let Them Theory. This one, I'll probably burn through this one next chance I get for some quiet time. Then, of course, this is one of her signature cards, Spread Kindness with a little ladybug. And a little bee. And then it says, I'm not even going to try and say that. Kavanaugh, you know some German. If you can tell me what that is in Dutch, good for you. But it means, I believe, be special you are. Be special you are. And then there is also keychain with some Dutch wooden shoes and a little note on there. It's both wooden shoes and mills and basically all the Netherlands. Oh, yep, there's some windmills on the wooden shoes. And then this is the coolest thing. Envelope with some stickers. And how cool is this? A wax seal. You have to melt a candle, drip it on there, and then stamp it. I had to be very careful opening it because I didn't want to break that seal. Because that is so cool. And then a card that I will not read to you kids, but a very, very nice note. Just thanking me for showing her kindness and being such a lovely friend. And wow, I got choked up from that. And I just don't know how to express back to her how much her kindness and friendship has meant to me. So I thought I could probably never say it to her the right way. But I can tell you kids about her and let you know that, some of these people that I've gotten into my life and how much they mean to me. And it's inspiring me. I'm going to have to have to pay it forward. I'm going to have to find somebody who could maybe use a little bit of kindness, who could use a little bit of serenity. I have to put together a little care package for them. So that's what I'll be doing this week. I'll be looking for the first person I can come across that could use a little care package, and I'll put one together for them. So anyhow, kids, today, be kind, right? As Panda would say, be kind, spread kindness. Love you, kids. We'll talk soon.